welcome inside a live rapid Reax following round number 1 of the United States Disc Golf Championships and Throw Pink Women's Disc Golf Championships. A pair of majors. I'm going with it. And here's your headlines. Of course, joining you, Josh, Charlie. Your headlines: Anthony Barella has a one-shot lead over Isaac Robinson in MPO. Over in FPO on the Throw Pink side, we've got Evelina Salonen out in front. She's got a 2-shot lead on Rebecca Cox and Owen Scoggins. A very interesting, blustery first day. Winds definitely keeping the scoring down a little bit. And Josh, I guess I'm curious to know, like, what stands out right off the jump for you as we kind of take a look here and everybody gets their opening salvos in here at USDGC.
Yeah, I'll tell you the first thing, Charlie. The fact that I have to go to a completely different event on the PDGA live page drives me up the wall. That's the first thing. Second thing, JEB points it out. Evelina goes 10 from 12 in Circle 1 and from Circle 1, C1X. Just an incredible performance from her on the putting green.
You'll love to see Evelina looking good. Mm-hmm. And not just looking like kind of like weak arming it in there. Like, these were legitimate putts in tough, windy conditions today. I said it to Juliana actually after we got off the air. I think she putted better than Owen today. Like, how many times has that been able to be said in the history of disc golf?
Not once.
Yeah, it was impressive, and I think Evelina, if she keeps putting like she did today, is going to win this tournament by like 7 strokes.
Yep.
I don't even think that's an exaggeration. Like, this one came from Statmando Evan. Her round today was 10:34 unofficially rated. That's her best round rating since last year's round 1 at Throw Pink, where she shot the 11 under course record, 10:38 rated. So, like, she just this course sets up great for her, and if the putting is on, which it was not last year, she's going to be unbeatable. I don't see where it's coming from. Like, Holland's already out of it. Like, is she forked? I don't want to get to forks yet. We'll get to the forks. There's obviously lots of golf left. What is up with? I sometimes don't understand Anthony Barella. We did not say his name in the preview show. He has not played particularly well for months now. And then it's just like suddenly AB is on fire. And today he was on fire and he's back. And now he's going to be in the hunt to win this tournament.
Yeah, you say you don't understand Anthony Barella, but I think you understand him perfectly. It's that he goes through slumps and then he gets back out of the woods and is in a much better shape again. Like, that's just what he does, right? What surprises me about this event is that the distance is not what is separating AB from the field in terms of how well he played. That just isn't available here at Winthrop. On the MPO side, now there is the advantage of the fact that, like, you know, AB with how far he can throw means that he gets to his bag has just opened up to him in terms of shot selection relative to his peers. Definitely the case at lots of courses, but at Winthrop especially, the fact that Anthony Barella can choose to throw putters and mids where some players are forced to go fairways or distance drivers is a big deal, and it's part of the reason why he's in the position that he's in. Now, you know, this is one of many rounds, and I'm interested to see if he can continue to hold on. You have the 4-round king in Gannon Burr, who's only 2 strokes back, and we've seen him in other majors this year and 4-round tournaments where Gannon was like 5 or 6 strokes off the lead and came back and won it because he had awesome rounds 2 and 3. I'm interested to see what Gannon puts together over the next couple days before we get to final day.
I mean, obviously, it's certainly not over in any way. I think there's a ton of people still involved and able to win this tournament, particularly in MPO. I love the way the leaderboard is set up. I mean, listen to this. Listen to this top. Everybody in the top 9 right now with ties. Barella, Isaac Robinson, Drew Gibson coming out of Monday qualifying and setting the hot round for much of the day at 7 down. Gannon Buhr and Ezra Aderhold also at 7 under. Then you've got Calvin, Vino Makala, Casey White at 6 under. And then Nico, Ricky, Adam Hammis at 5 under. Like, this is a wild leaderboard already. Now,
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
Do you expect, Casey White to keep it up, Nico to keep it up? Maybe not. But Nico's played great here, even in the recent past.
Mm-hmm.
And, this course, I'm going to be honest, it's really just not up to the standard anymore. Like, I don't get me wrong. I love Winthrop. I think it's very interesting. I think there's some really, really good holes. But I also think that it's like kind of easy in 2024. Mm-hmm. It's like gotten kind of short. A lot of people can compete out here. And like there's a psychological pressure for sure, but the shot making pressure just is not there. And Nate Perkins was saying today, anybody could win. And I think that's true.
Yes. Honestly, it really feels like anybody who is above 1020 rated has the necessary skill set to shoot well enough to win on this tournament. In terms of like the actual physical shot abilities that, and you point out the psychological pressure, very different, right? Competing at this level, but the actual, ability to throw a disc necessary to win this tournament, I think most of the guys over 1020 have that capacity.
How about our boy Nate Doss?
Nate Doss. He's even
par.
Shot well. Yeah.
He bogeyed the 18th, which was a bummer, but I mean, he would cash if the tournament ended today.
Yep. And he's tied with Nicholas Antela, Kevin Jones, some players who probably should be higher up than that. Raven Newsom, Micah Groth. He's with some names who are touring players right now.
I know. And the dude played pretty good. He went 83-29 on the greens. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's still competitive out here, folks. Like, he could absolutely cash. So that's a pretty cool story. But I'm just excited because I feel like today was kind of an opening, feel it out, get used to the course, and the wind conditions are coming down, which means that we're going to see scores getting better and better. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of double digits under par the rest of the weekend. Macbeth was cooking, and then quad bogeyed 17. He got.
He got.
2 OBs and 3-putt. Brutal.
Yeah.
And Zero Bull says it. That's exactly right. Today was survive the wind. Tourney starts tomorrow. That's exactly how it felt today. It felt like a preliminary round. It felt like it had all the feel of a day one. Like nothing was like super exciting at any point. It was just kind of like, where are people's games at? Who looks good? Who's going to be in contention? And I think we kind of established those tiers coming into day 2.
You know how Formula One does qualifying laps in order to determine starting position for the actual race?
Yes.
That's kind of what today felt like. It was qualifying 100%. Rounds to determine what your starting position is for the actual tournament. That's what today felt like.
Yeah, and like, I just feel like a lot of people played pretty well, and there were mistakes here and there that, could get cleaned up. But I think anybody inside that top 10 right now could win this tournament. And I mean, we can talk about fork lines and whatnot.
Is that your fork line, Charlie?
No, but not with 3 rounds to play. But it just feels like it's realistic. I just excited because I feel like we have the opportunity to have like an AB, Isaac, Gannon, Calvin, Ezra, Ricky, Drew Gibson battle, right? Yeah. We got a lot of heavy hitters up at the top right now.
And that's, I think, is a little bit different than, like, remember Worlds, we had some really odd names at the top and the heavy hitters were a ways down. And this time instead, it's like, we do have some new names at the top, some and there's some nice variety to that. But the heavy hitters are also here, right? And they are close.
Some interesting storylines in FPO. Of course, Evelina looking great. Kristen was fine today. A few too many mistakes, but 4 down. She's 3 shots back. Owen didn't putt very well and still shot a 5 under. And before the round, Mahmoud Barani, the producer of DGN, was like, we're going to roll this package of the 4 players who can win this tournament. And it was like the 4 player of the year candidates. And I was like, Mahmoud, you're doubting the dog. You can never doubt the dog. And then in the middle of the round, he goes, I doubted the dog. I was wrong.
Has he not learned from us? Like, you can't doubt the dog.
Rebecca Cox, putter looking good. Like, what's going on? I mean, I feel like everybody's putting is getting right at the perfect time. But the big story is Chantel Budinsky sitting at 3 under. Katie Alsalu sitting at 3 under. We had a nice moment there early on when Amanda Lennartson, who qualified from the European Open, Swedish, she's the 2023 Swedish champion. She was in the lead for much of the front 9. Unfortunately, she took an 11 on hole 12 and then a couple other triple bogeys. And so thanks for coming, but welcome to Winthrop. But it was a cool storyline.
It was. That's that 11 though. Oh man, that is tough. That's tough.
It was tough. And Josh, I want to ask you about this. Yeah, I didn't even see where did Paige land?
10 over.
Oh God.
Amanda still finished better than Paige.
She got dropped from coverage like a couple holes in.
Yeah.
I mean, she bogeyed 5 of the first 6 holes.
Yep, and then that was all she wrote.
I mean, you can't be a little bit off out here. You just get absolutely cooked by this course. But if you are throwing accurately, you can shoot. I think we could see a new course record this weekend. I'm going to call it. We will see a new course record in FPO this weekend. I don't know what the course record in MPO is.
Isn't it like...
Anybody know? It's probably like 14 or 15.
An MPO 11? That doesn't seem right. What did Calvin shoot the year that he was trying to chase down Dickerson? Was that 2021?
Well, it also is weird. I mean, I know Macbeth shot a 13 under in 2018. It's not clear if that's the course record, though. Somebody will probably know it from the chat. Anyway, I don't know if we'll see that, but I do think we will see a new course record in FPO. Josh, what did you think of the new stroke and distance rules? That's been a big topic today and a major change. We talked about how there were not really many changes to the course, and in a way that's true. But there are numerous holes that now have a rule that if you go out of bounds, you either have to throw from the drop zone or from the previous lie. You do not get to advance to where you went out of bounds. That's not true on every hole, but it is true on hole 12, for instance, where Lennartson blew up and a lot of people blew up. It makes those holes way harder than they used to be.
Dill says that's always been true on 12.
I don't think that's. I think that initially you go to the drop zone, but if you go OB off the green, you don't have to go back to the drop zone. I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I'm not sure. It just feels like it's keeping in theme. Here's the big thing though, is like as the distance of players continues to expand, I think it's a good check in the sense that you can't just blast something far and advance that way. And that's something I do prefer, but Emma's right that it is very confusing as a viewer in terms of having to make that decision. So I don't know.
Well, one of the things tricky is that it's true on some holes and not others.
Right. It's not consistent. And that April says the exact same thing. And that's Emma just spotted, just hit the nail on the head as you were alluding to a little bit. Well, it's not just 10 to 12. It feels like every hole on this course has a unique and different OB rule than the rest of them. And that is the difficulty with this course.
All right, Dill says, hear me out. Bunker the whole course, no penalty, but no advance. So you lose the stroke that you've thrown. I mean, I think bunker rule is great, but PGA apparently doesn't. Even though they allow
PGA
this
really
craziness. I guess they can kind of do what they want since this is not rated. This tournament is not rated. MPO course record for the current iteration of the course is a 12 down from Gannon in 2022. Joel Freeman also shot a 12 down. Yeah, that's the other challenging thing about this course. I mean, they've completely changed multiple holes since 5 years ago. So
yeah.
The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. Brand new ambassador packs just dropped. Casey White, Joel Freeman, and Ella Hansen signature bags available now. Some very cool colorways in those, so check those out. And also, brand new solid black blackout Octothorpes and a solid Cryptek Typhon with red zipper Octothorpes. Check those out. They look fantastic if you're looking for something in the blackout color scheme. And you can also go Joel Freeman route with a little pink trim. So check it all out, pounddiscgolf.com. Grab yourself a bag today. The aches and pains of age can creep up on you quickly. That doesn't mean you have to suffer in silence. Our sponsor, Sunset Lake CBD, has just what you need to soothe your aching joints and calm down those sore spots. As hemp farmers, the folks at Sunset Lake know what it means to be sore after a long day in the fields. That's why they make their products with top shelf ingredients, including CBD they grow themselves. From salves and rubs to gummies and tinctures, Sunset Lake CBD has everything you need to find relief at the end of your day. I use the Sunset Lake Balm. Just great. Like, it's a nice lotion on its own, but the extra CBD boost really helps those muscles feel better. It can help you get to sleep better without taking painkillers. So highly recommend. Sunset Lake CBD is offering our listeners 20% off all orders. Go to sunsetlakecbd.com and use code UPSHOT at checkout. Sunset Lake CBD, farmer owned, Vermont grown.
You know, it's hard to talk about specific individual play, I feel like, because plenty of people looked solid. And again, it just felt like more of an opener than like a traditional first round. I don't know why. It's just like the vibe that I got from today.
I think that's also the consequence of a major being on the same course 4 days in a row. Is that, like, think about and compare that to European Open or Worlds this year. In both cases, you're only playing each course. In Worlds, you are playing it 3 times. European Open, you're playing it each twice. So let's say you are somebody who wants to play Tampere and want to play the wooded course. You only get 2 chances. So if you want to do well, you've got to come out the gate swinging, because you want to take advantage of the fact that you're playing on the course that you feel like better sets up to your game. That's going to be a completely different feel than when you know you get 4 cracks at the exact same course, because you know that, like, it's better and it's easier to kind of game plan, I think, for the long term, and it makes it feel a little bit more like a marathon. Whereas when it's on multiple courses, it feels a little bit more like that more people have to sprint on each course. And that changes the dynamic drastically in terms of the vibes, the way people choose to play, the aggression. All of those factors are different when you have multiple courses in the same tournament.
Yeah, I think that's true. I also think just like the fact that it was windy probably has a lot to do with it. And as a result of the wind, there was more conservative play than I think we will see later this weekend. That's like a combination of wind and round 1.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting piece of all this. You know, obviously, people who avoided OB today were rewarded. A lot of the people up in the top 10 didn't go OB much. Gannon Burr, the big exception, which I think is kind of bad news for everyone else, because he took 4 penalty strokes and still shot a 7 down. And that's the most penalty strokes of anybody inside the top 14. So, I mean, at times early in the round, it was like, oh God, like after he got the eagle, it was like, all right, is Gannon just going to like stomp everybody? But then he cooled off.
Yeah.
Didn't putt particularly well today, but again, that's the wind, right? He hit a mega putt on 16.
Oh, on 16.
Yeah, he jammed it from like 75 feet.
You're right. It doesn't, that one doesn't register as a putt because it was too far out and it was outside circle 2.
Circle 3. Sco G. Sco G. I'm going to start calling him that. That's going to be his new nickname. Who is the Sco G guy? I need to know. He's been at everything. Is it like Gannon's buddy? Reed says, own Skogins. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, let's get the mega battle. AB versus Gannon versus Ricky. And hey, even Paul could come back into this thing.
That'd be cool.
If he didn't blow up his round on 17, he would have been right at the top.
Yep.
And Isaac. I'm not disrespecting Isaac.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to. Isaac's sitting there in second place. That's why I say he's got to finish second or first, Charlie. It's going to happen.
It is a given. The natural.
Honestly, a quick side note on Isaac on Isaac. I talked to Charlie about this a little bit the other day. He's got a new Instagram video up promoting the I don't know, some Halloween disc for Prodigy. And the top comment on Instagram is Isaac, blink twice if you're being held hostage. And that makes me laugh a lot. I don't know if we ever talked about, did you see the interview where he talked about, like, on a pre-round interview or pre-tournament interview, he's like, I want a manufacturer that's ready to like take me to the next level.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
we can't get into the off season yet.
You're right. You're right.
April says I either want a Drew Gibson collapse or a playoff with Gannon. Running it back from Las Vegas Challenge.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be fun. Drew played well in the Monday qualifying, and here he is again. So
he would be the first Monday qualifier, right? To win, if he were to win.
Oh yeah. That's never happened.
Yeah, no way.
Somebody wanted us to talk about this. Let me find the question. I think it was in podcast channel. From Josiah. How many MPO and FPO players who did not qualify for the Tour Championship will finish in the top 10 this weekend?
Wait, okay. Ask that again.
How many players, both divisions, who did not qualify for the Tour Championship will finish in the top 10 this weekend?
Okay.
So some names near the top right now that did not qualify for the Tour Championship: Drew Gibson, Ezra Aderholt, Katie Altsalou, Chantel Budinsky. There may be others, but
did Casey White qualify?
I think he did.
So not many. Yeah, I gotta get the Pro Tour standings up now.
Yeah, he was 23rd.
Okay, so he did get in. It does not feel like 4 is going to be the number that stays. That's for sure.
I agree.
I think it's more likely those. Basically, at this point, we're asking like, do these players fall off, and do you expect non-Pro Tour Championship players to leapfrog? And the answer to that question on my part is no, Charlie. That's not what I'm predicting to happen.
I'm going to say 2. I'm going to say
2.
Yeah. I don't exactly know who I think it'll be. I think Drew could stay up there. I think Altsalou could stay up there. I also think like Ellie Mittling could climb up there. She's sitting in 10th right now. There's a lot of paths to 2.
Yeah. There are a lot of paths to 2. Oh man, 2 feels outright. I'd probably take the under though. I don't know if it's going to be 3.
3's a stretch.
3 really feels like a stretch. Chantel Budinsky, if she keeps playing well, she'll stay in there. Definitely feels like it's more likely to be on the FPO side.
Bailey says $5 Drew does not finish top 10. I think he's not the odds-on favorite. You gotta give me odds. We can talk off the air, Bailey. All right, let's do some fork lines. Let's do some fork lines.
I've been thinking about this.
We'll start in MPO.
Okay.
Where are you thinking?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I think the fork line has got to be 3.
Over or under?
Over 3. The guys who are at 3 under are still in it.
So you're saying 3 over is the fork line?
No, 3 under. Sorry. Over. Those who are 3 under still are inside of the are not forked yet.
Much too aggressive a fork line. Much too aggressive. That's crazy to me. I think it's probably even.
I want you to name the player between even and 2 under who you think is coming back 9 strokes right now and is going to win this tournament.
Well, you've got former champion Nate Sexton in that group.
Okay.
You've got Kyle Klein in that group. You've got Joel Freeman in that group.
I will give you Kyle Klein. I'll give you Kyle
Klein. Who shot 11 under in the Monday qualifying. I mean, listen, again, it's not about whether these people are actually going to win. It's about what is possible.
I missed Kyle Klein. I am willing to extend the line to 2 under as a result. I will go no further.
All right.
That is it.
I say even. I say even, which means I'm giving Nate Doss a chance, folks.
Yeah, and Mike says Kyle Klein has no chance. Like I am very borderline. I don't know. The 3 unders,
Listen, it's unlikely, but like Kyle Klein could shoot 3 straight double-digit rounds, and you're telling me that he can't win? He definitely can win.
And that's why I'm giving it to you. There's nobody below that who is capable of shooting 3 double-digit rounds.
That's probably true.
I am confident of that.
That's probably.
I will give you very, very good odds on nobody below Kyle Klein shooting 3 double-digit rounds.
That's actually an interesting side bet.
It is. Pretty confident in that bet, to be honest with you.
3 double-digit rounds is a lot to ask.
It's a lot of rounds at Winthrop.
Doug says Simon Lizotte can do it. Well, not the way he's playing.
True. Well, that's why he can do it. He's out of contention now.
Stunk it up out there today. He shot 991, rated 6 over.
But that's why. Last year? What was winning score last year?
It was 27 down.
So if Simon Lizotte went 11 under, if Simon Lizotte shoots 11 under 3 times in a row, he ties last year's winning score.
11 under 3 rounds in a row. Come on. Not after today.
No, I don't think so either.
7 OB strokes. 0 for 10 from circle 2.
This
ain't it right now.
This is most certainly not the major that Simon is going to win. If Simon gets one, I don't think this is ever.
But I mean, he finished top 5 last year, I want to say. I mean, he should be able to do well here.
He should, but like
3rd. He was on the podium.
I hear you, but Simon does not have the mental game to keep it together, because he goes and he's gonna say like, "Oh, I shot just like I did yesterday, but I went OB 37 times. I don't know what happened," and then he's just a disaster.
I don't know. I played the same way yesterday. I went out of bounds every time yesterday. Today,
someone had a voodoo doll. I don't get it.
Oh no, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Okay, with scores right now, are you more confident in AB winning or Isaac? This comes from Dylan.
I mean, I think the recent form answer is definitely Isaac. I think a lot of people would say Isaac, but I'm actually going to say AB because I know how well he can play here.
Sure.
I actually remember if it was probably like 2018, 2017. He was the round 1 leader. Just like this. He was still like a kid.
Yeah.
And then he, of course, imploded after that. But he's a different player now. I mean, it was 1080 rated today. And he had a couple bogeys.
Yep.
So I really think his putting looked decent today. I really think that he is capable of just absolutely cooking out here. Because he can throw slower discs. That's the biggest thing.
Yep. That is. Who's your favorite to win right now, based on current standings in MPO?
You still have to say Gannon. I don't think you can go off Gannon only 2 shots back.
Yep. I completely agree.
All right, FPO fork line.
Hold on, I got to tab back over to it.
Keep in mind that a 6-shot lead was blown by 2 players last year in the final round.
That already happened. That already happened this year at European.
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah. It is not the same fork line Zero Bowl because you can't fork Missy right now.
No way.
Fork line, yeah, no, that's crazy. Looking at who's below,
it's even.
It's just, you think it's even?
Yeah. Valerie Mondahano has to be given respect out here.
I agree. I think it might go further back. I don't think so. I was debating putting Henna back in the conversation.
No, I don't think so.
Because she opens with 2 double bogeys. Otherwise, she's 2 under. And I listen. There's a world where Evelina
she only got 4 birdies.
Listen. I hear you, but tell me that there's not a world that Evelina just completely stalls. Everyone else just shoots one under, even 1 over, and Henna shoots 6 down tomorrow. She's played well here in the past. People
are trying to say that Holland Handley is still alive in this tournament. At 3 over par. 8 shots back of second, 10 shots back of first. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. There's too many players too far in front of her.
Yeah.
David even as the FPO, of course she's still in it. April says she's the number 2 player in the world. She can make up 3 strokes per round. Mr. Drew says Holland is way too in her head already as well. That is true.
Yeah.
Holland Handley podium is more likely than a Henna Blomroos win. That is true. That is true.
Listen, the way FPO and majors have been this year, I feel like you could just throw all the players in a bag and shake them up, and you could pull just about anybody out still.
I have to fork Holland.
It's so far. It's so far.
Much
back.
Damage done today. There's no way that like Kristen, Owen, Ev, Missy are all going to collapse. It's not going to happen.
No, I don't.
That's what it would take. A lot of people say she's still in it.
Mondahano definitely deserves to be in it, though.
Zach says they don't have to collapse. There's 3 rounds to go. All right, let's see. Let's see.
What was winning score for FPO last year?
I will say, I guess I could say that Holland is capable of shooting 3 tremendous rounds, but I think the deficit is too big for a single round.
Yeah, winning score last year was 23 under.
April is trolling me because I said that Holland made up 6 strokes in 1 round last year, but 10 back and 3 is impossible. It's fair. If we're going by the fork line rule of it has to be at least theoretically possible, I guess I'll give it to you.
A lot of people have said even plus Holland. Because we did that for Kristen, remember?
We did do that once. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can respect that pick. The thing, like, listen, I know that Henna's only got 4. Henna could shoot double digits and set the course record tomorrow.
No, because putting. Sorry. Would you take the other side of a 100-1 bet on Holland? Well, that's a good point. No, I would not. So I guess I do. That's why you want to put money on stuff, folks.
Right. That's right.
Because it really truly gets down to business. Like, if anything, I would probably like to be on the side of the Holland side of that bet. So I am saying she has a better than 1% chance to win.
All right.
Dog of the day. Who you got?
Um, give me Rebecca Cox.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, she's had a couple tournaments that, and she's done this before. I hope she hangs on. I hope that her Circle 1 putting stays like it is. But you know what? I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to give her the dog of the day later in the tournament, so I'm going to give her credits where it's due today.
Honestly, she just played all around really good today.
Yeah.
I was really impressed. At times, I thought she was the most impressive player on the feature cards. Now, obviously, Evelina put together the better score, so I think that's probably not fair. Evelina with a 59% Circle 1 in regulation. That's really good. But Rebecca was very solid and looked just sharp and in a way, and the putting was better than I've seen, even in her quote unquote good putting rounds. She really looked better. She was like an all around player today. It's a great answer. My answer is Chantel Budinsky.
Love it.
Top 5, held on down the back 9. She's not going to win this tournament, but we saw a little bit of her towards the end of the round, like holes 16, 17, 18. And she was playing really solid. Smart golf, laid up on 18. I liked it. She didn't blow up.
Yeah.
And that's crucial.
That's a nice pick.
On the MPO side, I got to give Drew Gibson dog of the day. Coming in on Monday qualifying and coming out here and holding the lead for most of the round and being 2 shots off the lead, tied with Gannon Burr. That's the best round Drew Gibson's played in what feels like years.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know if that's technically true. It was 1069 provisionally rated. Maybe the stat people can tell us, but I think that was pretty sweet.
Give me Casey White, friend of the pod, Casey White. This is not, and I don't know what his USDGC history is, but this is not the course that I kind of expect from him. I expect wooded courses, northeast. But he comes out and has a nice round, and honestly, he really picked it up at the end of the season to get himself into the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championships. Love to see it here at the major as well. So Casey White gets my nod for today.
His best finish at USDGC 22nd in 2021.
Okay.
What else? Let's take some rapid fire questions from the chat. Thoughts on Yuli playing hole 1 and then, did he only play 1 hole? I knew he dropped out, but I didn't know if he was only 1 hole. I thought he played most of the front 9.
He played 5, is what Chris says.
Okay, that sounds right. He was playing lefty because he still can't throw righty. I guess I don't quite know why he bothered.
Yeah, yes, that's. Yeah.
Well, maybe he thought he was gonna play, but then he was like, "Nah, I just can't do this. I'm getting destroyed by this wind." David says probably a streak thing, just to say that he competed. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm aware of any streak or I don't know. It's a weird one. I guess I understand. You wanna. We've seen that, right? Climo's played 1 hole and then dropped out. But this is different. You played 5 holes and then you dropped out?
Right,
that's just weird to me.
Mike says, like Scott Stokely, he believed 100% in his heart he had a chance to win.
All right, what else we got, folks? Get your questions in. Zach says I got here late. We already talked Macbeth.
Says the implosion at the end of the solid round was painful.
Now, welcome to 17. I mean, I don't know. He got 17'd. Otherwise, I thought he played pretty good.
He did.
It happens. We've seen. It's rare for him to miss the shot multiple times. I remember one year when he won it. He missed the island in the final round and then corrected for the second shot. But did you know? Macbeth tied with AB for the best Circle 1 in regulation percentage today.
I did not know that.
10 of 18.
All right.
So look, he got 17th.
Yeah, he did. He did. He looked good otherwise. So
Emma says the course looked great for everything it went through. They've done an awesome job getting it ready. You'd be hard pressed to know that there were problems.
Yep.
They really did it up, and I'm sure it was a tremendous amount of work. But yeah, I mean, it's the one thing that really feels a little bit different is that the trees are really thinned out around hole. What is it? 4, 3, 3. Like around the green. It used to be super thick, couldn't get through. Now you can like see the basket. You can like maybe have weird punch throughs from the wrong side of the tree line. The tee pad change, by the way, which is kind of the big course change. I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't really change the hole that much, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's still all about like get that second shot.
Yep.
David says, "Is the Macbeth era over?" I think it's been over, but I don't think today's round has anything to do with it.
That is a discussion for not a rapid Reax. Not a rapid Reax 30 minutes in.
Zero Bulls asked about Haley King's roller coaster round.
Oh my!
Oh boy! I don't. I really just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. Haley can play so much better than this. I feel like it's unfocused. She took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 penalty strokes today.
Also had 2 eagles.
2 birdies, 2 eagles, 5 bogeys, a triple bogey, and a quadruple bogey. It's just like she can play better. I don't know what to say. Like, it's a mental thing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of red on the scorecard.
It is also true that Haley got the only eagle on hole 8 and the only eagle on hole 9. Now we will see more eagles on hole 9 later this week.
Oh, when the wind isn't up as much. Yeah.
When the wind isn't up, yeah. A few people got across and then either just laid up or missed the putt. But an eagle on 8 is pretty legit. And not only was it an eagle on 8, it was a 38-foot putt for eagle.
Yeah, not like a big throw.
Pretty sick, like a borderline circle 1 putt.
Zerable says no double bogeys is always my goal. She did that.
That's how you know you're stepping up to MA1.
That's right.
David says it's impressive how this course has stayed relevant all these years. I think it's because it just demands incredible levels of accuracy. And like that's just a skill that like people aren't really getting more accurate now than they were 10 years ago.
And it looks really nice on broadcast. Like, listen, for a course, there are courses on tour that use extensive amount of OB to elevate the level of difficulty on a property that otherwise would not be suitable for this level of the game. And I don't think that you can argue that USDGC does the absolute best in identifying where that OB is for a course that has such extensive OB. The boulders do a nice job. Like they put a lot of work into that, and that shows, and that gives them, I think, a lot of benefit in terms of their ability to stay relevant in a kind of media-driven disc golf ecosystem.
Zach points out some comments from Juliana today about Evelina, and this kind of gets to Mike B's question, who asks, how long before it's clear that Evelina is the best player in FPO? I asked Juliana today, what is Evelina's ceiling? And she said that she could have one of the most dominant seasons all time in FPO if she became a top-tier putter. And not only that she could compete with MPO players. That's how good she is as a thrower. And I mean, I don't even necessarily disagree. I think it puts in perspective, and Juliana did a nice job of this, of like identifying that truly, like, if she becomes a strong putter, not just a slightly
Not a
below
passable
average putter,
Yeah.
that she's going to be crushing everyone week after week.
Emma says she shot 40 rating points higher than Simon.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 1030 something rated round. Like,
Yeah.
that is an MPO quality round. That's not not going to win you an MPO tournament, but 1033 rated round puts Evelina in 31st in MPO.
And in cash.
Pretty sweet.
Come on, Doss.
Is she 1010 rated if she becomes a Holland quality putter, or does she need to become Own/Kristen? 1010. Probably got to be like number one at both things. I mean, like last year, Kristen was often number one in both categories.
Yeah.
And still has barely eked out getting to 1,000 rated.
Yep.
Here's another good one. We're going to take one or two more.
Okay.
This one comes from Parked Pro Matt. If Presnell wins this one, where does he rank from Eric McCabe to Ken Climo on the legacy scale? Win a two-major season, including a USDGC. I mean, I still don't think it's enough to get him into the Hall of Fame. So we can start with that.
I don't think so either.
Who are the other one-time USDGC winners? We just did this on the show. One-time USDGC winners that have not won a Worlds. So you've got like Sexton and Coling.
It almost feels like a Coling level of legacy. The problem is Coling's got like the media side, right? Like that's the problem.
Coling's a lot more famous.
Right. Germ is always going to be ahead of like many players who even may be better than him because of his media side.
It'd still be below Nico, I think.
All right, let me give you some one-time winners here. Feldberg, Doss, Nico, Brinster, Coling, Sexton, Conrad, Dickerson, Burr, Kyle Klein.
Brinster is a good comp.
Does Brinster have a Worlds?
No. Does Brinster even have any other majors? I'm going to look it up.
I don't know.
He won one NT in 2004, the Dogwood Crosstown Classic, and then 9 years later, he won USDGC.
No other majors.
No other tour wins. No other tour wins. I mean, I'm not really looking at A tiers, but
sure.
NT's, majors, pro tours. It's comparable. Although, obviously this would put Prez to 2 major wins.
Yeah.
Is Prez above Locastro? No. Dickerson's Champions Cup and USDGC would be the same. No.
That's true, but the problem is
another level.
Every time Dickerson, the reason Dickerson isn't like one of like the best players is because he just didn't tour enough, right? He didn't play quite as extensive a tour as most players. But if he did, he could have been up in some really legitimate discussions about a top player for his time. He doesn't play enough. That was his hang up. But he's much better than Presnell.
All right. I think that might be it. I'm excited for the rest of this weekend. I think we're going to have some really compelling rounds. Chris Clark says USDGC is the best US-based live tournament experience. I think that's true. I think if you're just if you're kind of like a casual disc golf fan, I'm not sure you're doing better than USDGC on a year in, year out basis.
That makes sense.
I think Worlds is pretty good this year, but it's not always great.
Emporia.
Remember they charged $100. You couldn't buy a day pass.
Oh my gosh.
Right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you're hearing this in your regular podcast feed, thanks for checking out a little Rapid Reax action. And we hope that you will join us as a subscriber to get the rest of this week's Rapid React. I mean, listen, it's cheaper to get an Ultra-World Disc Golf subscription and get into the Discord and listen to the Rapid Reacts than it is to upgrade to DGN Pro. So Go ahead and just jump in. You don't even have to watch the tournament. I think there are people in here who, I know, is Wyatt here right now? No, he's skipping out completely. Wyatt's not willing to pay for the pro. And so he's just going to skip the tournament because he doesn't want to pay for an annual DGN Pro. And so but you could just listen to the Reax.
That's right.
Oh, Disc Golf Doug hit us with the facts. There it is. This was Drew Gibson's best round rating on tour since the 2023 Las Vegas Challenge. So I was right.
Wow. Yeah, you were right.
It's been literally years. A year and what? Almost 2 years. Josh, are you prepared for the fact that the tour ends in 2 weeks?
No, I am not.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. That is crazy.
I don't. It Lizzle or something like that says Wyatt can't bear to watch Vinny choke it in the final round. No. All right. Thanks, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow right here in the Rapid Reacts. Go to discgolf.ultiworld.com/subscribe to join up if you're not already a member. Less than $4 a month. For Josh, I'm Charlie saying so long. We'll talk to you tomorrow.